All right, good morning everybody on Facebook Live. We're here at Boost Biz Ed in Westminster at Switchboard Networking Boutique. We just finished our intros around the room and 30-second commercials for everybody that made it here. So for you that didn't make it, you lost out on that opportunity, so sorry about that. But we are here for Boost, which is educational and networking events tied together. So just about 8.5 years ago, Boost was formed as an informal coffee clutch, if you will, where a bunch of business owners got together and shared business ideas. It grew into those people presenting formal presentations, grew into what we have today with 5 locations around the country, 3 in Denver, 1 in Oregon, 1 in San Diego, where we bring in speakers that are experts in fill in the blank to share their expertise at a much higher level than what us little business owners did in the first couple of days. So today we have Kerry with kborcherdingcom presenting Alignment, the #1 catalyst to increase your business. So Kerry is a coach and trainer. She has her master's in transpersonal counseling psychology and is the creator of Shift Academy, which supports people worldwide to create a stable foundation to their lives and businesses through coming into alignment first and taking action second. It is her mission to empower people to see the immense power they hold and their unlimited ability to co-create when they tune into their higher self and intuition. From this place of joy, magnetic presence and success are inevitable. She's been featured on iHeartRadio, KOA, Bloomberg, 5 to Thrive, 9 News, The Huffington Post, and The Daily Camera. So she's kind of famous, and that's why we brought her in. Sorry I added that, that's not in the bio. In addition to her international coaching business, Kerry is also the co-creator and lead facilitator of Hope Held by a Horse, a nonprofit that supports women with breast cancer to learn, grow, and heal in the company of horses. It was the first breast cancer program of its kind in the world. So with rousing applause, let's bring Kerry to the front of the room.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me here today. I love coming to this place that Connie has created. It's such an awesome venue. But I want you to just take a second and I want you to think about these words. I'm not enough. I don't have a story. I'm stressed all the time. I feel overwhelmed. And as you think about those words, just notice what happens in your body. Notice what happens to your energy. Because this is the place that many of us are trying to attract clients from and build our businesses from. And if you ask me, that's not the best place to be trying to draw into our life what we desire. And so we have to start shifting that. And that comes not from taking more action and doing more things, but really getting into a place of alignment first and foremost. So today I want to talk a lot about alignment and how that fits into your life. So maybe even notice with some of those comments that I said, what is your hook? What is kind of one of those statements that is maybe set on replay in your mind? And there might be a few of them, but we often have a couple that tend to keep hooking us back in. So just notice what yours is and maybe jot that down. And so a little while ago, I started to shift my business from being a psychotherapist for over 10 years, and I decided that I really wanted to step into having a bigger impact. I wanted to train, and I wanted to speak, and I wanted to coach to more people. I wanted to have more of an online business. And as I started to step into that, I was on fire because I was a full yes. Like not only the words that were coming out of my mouth, but my body, everything. Because the thoughts that we think impact the feelings that we feel, which then initiates the words that come out of our mouth, initiates the posture that we hold, initiates the energy that we are emanating. And so when I started to shift my business, I was a full yes in every aspect: mind, body, spirit, energy. And then, so I launched my website, and the very next day I had 3 clients call me, 3 strangers that I didn't even know. And so I immediately had 3 clients. That never happened in my psychotherapy practice. It took me about a year to get 3 clients. But in this business, I knew that this was what I was supposed to be doing. I knew it was my passion. I was in full alignment with that. And so then I started to launch Shift Academy, which was my online business, or my online program. And as soon as I launched that, it was a great launch. I had a lot of people join for a first launch. And then I got so excited that I went into complete building mode. And so I kind of dropped the alignment piece, and I just started building. I started doing all the strategy. I started listening to the coach that I had that was saying, okay, do this, do this, do this. And all of a sudden, my business took a little bit of a nosedive. And I was like, what's happening? And so then, after it started to take a nosedive, I started to get a little bit stressed and anxious and worried. And then I had all of this self-doubt start bubbling up. Did I make the right decision? I just dropped a very successful psychotherapy practice that I've been building for 10 years to do this thing that I love, but I lost connection to why I was doing it, and I just started doing the strategy and the action. Can anybody relate to this piece of just going into, okay, I gotta do this, and I have to do this, and I have to do this in order to keep up? And so when that starts to be put on the back burner, what happens is what happened to me, and I had this day from hell, where literally anything that could have gone wrong went wrong. My computer crashed, and then I lost a high-end client because of a really silly miscommunication. And then I got called because my mom went into the hospital. So I drove to the hospital, and there was no parking spaces, and I have the best parking karma in the world. And there was no parking spaces, so I parked illegally thinking, oh, well, what's worst case scenario? I get like a $15 ticket. But when I came out, it was a $150 ticket, which I didn't even know existed. And then my husband called me and said, your dog just had a seizure. Who was my soulmate. My dog is my husband, both are my soulmates. And everything, it was one of those days where you just want to crawl under the covers and never come out. Anybody have one of those before? So that momentum, and in that moment, I had this aha moment of how am I participating in this happening? Because everything was going really great. So what part can I take responsibility for of manifesting this really shitty day? And so in that moment, I realized that at the beginning of my business, I was a full yes. I wasn't thinking about the strategy. I was just doing what my heart was calling me to do in each and every moment. I was following my joy in each and every moment. And when I quit doing that, when I started to just go into the strive and drive mode, which we can all do, and all of you here probably are pretty good at that because you wouldn't probably be here if you weren't partly strive and drive, if you weren't doers. But I went from completely being in being mode to going to complete doing mode. And as soon as I started doing that, my business started to take a nosedive. And so the important part is that you cannot build the foundation of your life or your business on just the doing part. Because eventually you're going to just be striving and driving. And yes, you will be able to build a successful business like that, but most likely it will come with burnout at some point, or you're gonna get the roller coaster results, the kind of inconsistent results that I was having. Because I was in it, and then I would just go into strategy, and people would disconnect from me because I wasn't attractive when I was just in doing mode, when I wasn't in alignment. So we can go from doing to being really easily, and that's what I want to talk about today. But all of us have to promote our businesses. We all have to create the emails, create create the videos, but it is from that place of being, because when we are in the place of being, that is when we start attracting to us what we desire. People are going to follow you and be inspired by you because of who you are and how you feel, which is the most important part, how you feel, right? And so when I'm in strive and drive mode, I lose connection to myself, and people can't feel me anymore after that. And then I lose their attention. And so whether you are struggling with income, or whether you are struggling to have the impact that you want or build the business as fast as you want it to, I would almost guarantee that it's an alignment issue, not a strategy issue. And if you have the income that you want, but maybe you've hit a plateau, again, an alignment issue, not a strategy issue. Which is why there are a lot of coaches out there, and I'll get on my soapbox for 1 minute. There are a lot of coaches out there that are teaching their 5-step process about how to build a 7-figure business in 3 months, right? We've all heard these, but they don't work for everybody, because how you do your marketing might not align with how I want to do my marketing. So you might be amazing on Facebook Live, and people are so connected to you on Facebook Live because that's your gift, that's where you shine. But yet for you, you might prefer to be at a networking event because that's where you shine, that's where you connect with people, that's where you're the most congruent and aligned. And so her 5-step process is not necessarily going to work for you. The way Gary V is, who is stay up late and get up early, and his energy, he's like, just do. If everybody just does that, they'll be successful. But that's who he is, right? He loves that. That's where he shines, is to be big and to be going and to be moving every moment. Whereas if I did that, I would be a disaster. And then people wouldn't be attracted to me. And so you have to find what lights you up and your authentic truth in your business, because that's when you are the most aligned, and that's when you shine the most. That's when you are the most beautiful, and that's the attraction. So I've talked a lot about just that part of being in alignment, but now how do you do that? So there are 3 keys to being in alignment. The first is to be paying attention to your mind. So what are the thoughts that you are having to yourself about yourself in every moment? And being able to catch yourself when you're going down that rabbit hole of whatever ... that you wrote down on your sheet of paper. How do you catch yourself in that moment and shift it and start using a different affirmation to let go of that limiting belief and replace it with something that's actually true? That's the first. The second is the body. How are you moving through space? How do people feel when they see you? What is your body posture? What is your body saying to people? The way that you move, the gestures you use, your facial expressions. And then the third is your energy. So we are broadcasting an electromagnetic signature out to every atom in our environment at every moment, whether we like it or not. And so what are you broadcasting? How are people reading you? Because they're either being attracted to you or they are being repelled by you. And that might sound harsh, but it's true. We either are attracted or kind of pushing away, like not that interested. And there is no neutral. Even if we say about somebody, oh, she's okay, I don't really think that much about her or him, that's repelling. We don't want anybody to not notice us, because attention is the biggest value that we can create in our business. If we don't have attention on us in every single moment and be able to hold people's attention, then we don't have a business, especially in the noise that is happening right now. We have to be able to stand out in the noise. And so what are you broadcasting? And we have a physical energy inside of our physical body that is always with us. But besides our physical body, we also have a presence around us, an energetic presence around us, our energy bubble, so to speak. And so it's about an arm's length out from us. And so in front, in back, and all around. So how are you holding that energetic presence around you? Because it's that energy of where my bubble ends and the next person begins. And then where those two energies begin to come together is when we start attracting or repelling somebody else. And so how are you holding that energy? So even now, just feel the energetic space around you. Take that up, because when we are the most attractive, when we're the most magnetic, is when we are taking up all of the space around us that we were born with, not just our physical body, but our energetic body, and then having a container around it. So we have this contained space. So not only do I feel safe within this contained space, but the people that I'm interacting with also feel safe, because I'm not spewing my energy all over them. I'm not contracting my energy so it feels weird. Both parties feel safe. And we have to get really good at this, not just when we're sitting on our couch at home feeling really comfortable, or sitting on the beach on vacation, but when you're standing up in front of a networking group, or when you are sitting across the table having a sales conversation, or trying to get somebody to come be a partner in your business with you. So we have to be able to hold and master that ability to expand and contain our space. And so there are 3 ways that we can kind of get wonky in our energy. And this is usually unintentional. And it's also just a part of what we have learned through our experiences growing up and how people have interacted with us. And so the first is that we can contract our energy really close to us. This is called the shrinker. So when you start to get nervous, or you start to feel uncomfortable, or you start to feel stressed, or you walk into a party when you don't know a single person, that would be for me. Somebody might really like that, but that scares the crap out of me. So I shrink my energy. I'm a shrinker. So you shrink your energy really, really close to you. And what happens is when you shrink your energy, it sends a signal to your brain that you aren't safe. And so even though you do it because you think that's going to make you feel safe, it actually doesn't make you feel safe. But it is a pattern that we have learned over our lifetime, that that's what we do when we start to get nervous or feel uncomfortable. And so the second way is that, and that's repelling. That doesn't feel good to the people standing around us. If you've ever had somebody contract their energy, like especially if you're watching somebody on stage that tends to contract their energy when they're in front of people, you often want to like jump in to go rescue them because you feel sorry for them. And so that actually repels people. It's not going to draw people into your business or attract the things that you want into your life. Or the second way is that you can project your energy. So you have no container at all. And these are the people that feel like a little much when you're interacting. You kind of want to take a little step back. You want to take a little step back because there's no container, and they have learned that they feel more safe when they are being, the life of the party, when they have tons of joy and they're spreading it around. But for the person on the receiving end, it can feel like a little much, and it actually pushes people away a bit. And again, unintentionally, these are just habits that we have learned in our life. And then the third is that we diffuse the energy. So these are the people whose energy just kind of floats around the room. So this person would feel kind of airy or ungrounded. There's no magnetism. They're just kind of flat. And so again, unintentional. So how do you keep that expanded energy and have that container so that you are the most magnetic person that you can be, because when we're in that space, we get to take up our whole space and we get to seep in our own power of our own energy and our own light, so to speak. So I just want you to feel this for yourself. So I'm going to use the shrinker as the example for this, but if you project your energy or if you are a diffuser, you can replace this after this and just play around with whatever works for your particular thing. But just as we're going through this, notice which one are you? What's your go-to? And you may use different ones depending on the situation, but we usually have a go-to out of those three that we do when we don't feel particularly comfortable or safe in an environment. So if you feel comfortable, I want you to close your eyes. And first, I just want you to imagine that space around you. So taking up your whole energy bubble, but there's still that container around you. So in front and particularly in back, because sometimes we lose the container in the back part of our body. On the sides, even above and below you. And just notice what it feels to have that space. Like feel what happens to your breath. Feel what happens to your muscles, to the muscles in your face. And then I want you to imagine shrinking that bubble so it's just about 2 inches away from your skin on all sides. So shrink that energy in and just notice what happens again to your breath. To the muscles. And then again, just push it back out. And notice the difference. Do you feel more expanded or contracted? Do you feel like you have more options or less options? Do you feel more connected or less connected? And then you can go ahead and open your eyes. And so what did people notice as you pulled it in close to you versus when you had the space?
I felt very nervous.
Nervous
when
you contracted.
Yeah.
Nervous when you sorry. Claustrophobic. Yes.
Awkward.
Do
not like
yeah. Well, especially for somebody who's a projector, that probably really felt bad.
Yeah, exactly. Like this stop now.
Yeah, for those of you out there who are projectors, that would probably feel particularly bad for you. Yeah. So again, like with this exercise, if you project, just imagine having the container, and what does that feel like? If you sat next to somebody who was doing that, just imagine what it would feel like when you're in that contracted space to then try to talk to somebody about your business from that space versus trying to talk about your business when you're in a more expanded, contained space, and how that would feel in relationship with somebody who contracted. Because not only are you feeling that way, then when you start feeling that like claustrophobic feeling and that constricted feeling, then that person sitting across from you is going to feel that from you as well. Does that make sense? So practice having this expanded, contained space. And for those of you who are projectors, often what I will hear when you actually have the container is sometimes you might feel like that's actually claustrophobic as well, even having the container. But what happens is that you will notice a response in other people that actually feel more of a draw to you because they can feel the boundary. There's something to bump up against, whereas when there's no container, it can just be a little overwhelming for the person standing across from you. So that's what happens when we play around with the energy externally around our body. And so now I want you to think about the energy that happens inside of your body, that's running inside. So most of the time we are walking around from the neck up, and we lose connection to anything below the neck. So we're just talking to people from the head, we're relating to people from up in our head, And when we are up here, we are mostly living either in the past, coulda, shoulda, woulda, or we are living in the future. What if I run out of money? What if I can't pay my bills? What if my business flops next week, right? And so both of those places don't allow you to be in the present moment. And when we are not connected to our bodies, we most likely don't even have the ability to be connected to the here and now. So for this one, I actually want you to partner up. So I'll partner up with one of you as well. And I want you to just at first feel the energy move up into your headspace. So for those of you who are like, I don't really get the energy thing, just worry about something. Just get stressed about something, and that will put your energy up into your head. So just notice what that feels like. And then I want you to partner up with somebody, and I want you to just share how your day has been so far from this place. Like you're just having a conversation from your head bubble with each other. Does that make sense? I'll partner up with you. Yeah. So the tallest person can go first.
So.
And then I'll tell you when to switch.
Okay. So far, day is pretty good. Worked out. Had a good workout. It was very hard workout. And then headed home. Had some emails to check through, some appointments to schedule. Got that done and headed over here. So not too crazy at once.
Yeah. So go ahead and just finish up where you are and then switch. Yeah, I woke up early so I could just take a minute to go through what I was talking about today. And my puppy's been sick, so I took her out, took her for a really quick walk. And yeah, my morning went really fast. And then I drove here, and here I am.
Here we are.
There I am. Did you get to go?
Yep.
Okay. And then that I'm gonna stay here because I'm
Okay.
gonna keep using my partner. Okay. And then we're going to take that energy that's been up here and allow it to come down into the body until it lands down in your pelvis. So to help with that, we're just gonna count, just to imagine from the count of 10 to the count of 1, then landing down in your center. So starting at 10, imagining the energy kind of at the top of your head where it was. And then 9, allowing it to drop down to your nose. 8, down to your mouth. 7, to your neck. 6, through the top of your chest. 5, below your rib cage. 4, down to the bottom of your rib cage. 3, to the top of your navel. 2, just below your navel. And then 1, for women it's about 3 inches below your navel, and then it's going to be back towards your spine, so like in the center of your body. And for men it's a couple inches. And you can imagine a light or a crystal, something there, just holding that space in your lower abdomen. And then you're going to open your eyes and you're going to share from that space with your partner how your day has been so far.
Good day so far. Had a really good workout and felt energized. Almost failed on the workout, but I didn't. I got up and I went early. Had a good group of women there exercising with me, so that helped. Went home, got stuff taken care of, answered some emails, made some appointments that needed to get done, and got ready and came over here. So I was excited to be here.
Let's see, I woke up this morning and I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed when I first And so I want you to just notice what might be different when you are relating to somebody else from inside of your body versus from your head space. What are some of the things that you noticed when you were up here versus the second time when you dropped into your body? Both from the receiving side as well as from the giving side.
More positive.
More positive.
Dropped.
When you dropped in.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So definitely more feeling.
More feeling.
When it was deeper.
Yeah, more
Because you
feeling.
can tell it's definitely intellectual versus feeling or emotional side of things.
Yes, yeah, definitely more intellectual when we're up here, more feeling down here.
I think more realistic, like when I was doing it more from the body, it wasn't so just high level or just little scripts going through. It was actually much more thoughtful and realistic of where I was coming from.
Yeah, more real,
Mm-hmm.
more thoughtful and real and realistic from here. A few other things I tend to notice is it tends to be really listy when you're in your head. I did ... today, and then when we drop down, having that more emotional, like real conversation, slowing down. Sometimes the conversation actually slows. The cadence of your conversation slows down. Even the voice can change. Sometimes the voice is higher when we're up in our head and then drops down lower in the body when we're down there. So you can imagine how this could be helpful when you're sitting across the table from somebody having a sales conversation in terms of really building trust and having somebody really believe what you're saying and really feeling a connection with you, because there's a lot of people that do what we do. There's a lot of people who have the same businesses that we have. So why are they choosing you? And they're not going to be choosing you because necessarily that you're just a really good list builder or a really good funnel creator or a really good network marketer. They're coming to you because of who you are and how you feel when they sit down to have a conversation with you. And when you energetically are contracted or diffusing your energy, or when you are up in your head, they can feel that stress, that they're not going to want to connect with you as much as when you are aligned and congruent and in your body. So does this make sense to people?
Yes.
And how important? So you can see why this has to be such a priority in your business, because we can all do the action. We all have the capacity, we all have the ability, the intelligence, the motivation as business owners to do the stuff. But if you don't lay this as the foundation underneath the strategy and the action's just going to keep falling flat. You're just going to keep having those roller coaster results, or you're just going to keep hitting the wall because you feel so burnt out. There's no flow. And so all of us can do the strategy, but if you start putting alignment at the base as the foundation, as the priority, and then take the action from there, you're going to surpass people that aren't doing that. And you're going to be able to accomplish so much more while doing less. Because all of us, if I'm not connecting with my clients that well, or my potential clients when I'm sitting across the table from them, if I'm not in that aligned place first, I'm going to have to talk to 10 people instead of 4 people to get one client. Does that make sense? So I might get the client, but I'm going to have to talk to 3 times as many people to get that one client because they don't feel me. Okay? So alignment has to be the priority. So you have to figure out what is your commitment level on having this be the priority and the foundation that you build your business on. Because when you get up even in front of a networking group, one thing that happens is that your body is a physical manifestation of what's happening internally. So when you stand up at a networking event the next time, notice how your body is apologizing for something that's going on internally. Because we all have usually a thing that we do, whether it's getting really small or maybe it's taking a step back, but something our body is unconsciously doing to apologize or to reflect what's happening on the inside. And so just one more tip for today that you can practice is have somebody watch you next time that you're in a networking event and just ask them to reflect to you where they see you apologizing in your body. And the way that you can counteract that is to do the opposite movement. So let's say I get really small in my arms. I might cross my arms when I'm standing in front of a networking group giving my 30-second spiel that we all love to do so much. Instead, you're going to do this movement. You're going to do some movement that counteracts that coming here. And then the next time that you're talking at that networking event, you're not going to do this. You're just going to imagine doing this, and you will be amazed how quickly that changes your 30-minute spiel. So just do a counter movement to whatever that apology is. Does that make sense to people? So again, these don't take long to do, right? It didn't take you long to go from your head to your pelvis. It took 2 seconds. And it took 2 seconds to change your vibration from being worried and stressed and kind of disconnected and listy and fast to dropping in and being able to connect to that person across from you really quickly. And it doesn't take long to expand and contain your energy, but it does take practice. It takes mastery, because that has to start being just something that you do even when you're nervous, not just when you're sitting on the couch at home. So it has to start being something that you practice on a regular basis, because otherwise, as soon as you start getting nervous again, you're going to go back to the habit. You're going to go back to the pattern. And we have to do it in relationship, because all of those patterns happened in relationship. And so the best way to practice them is to practice it in relationship. So with that, if you want to stay connected and you want to you really resonate with this being a priority in your business, and how quickly and with ease that you can start growing your business if you start laying this foundation first, then you are welcome to connect with me through Facebook. You can connect with me through Instagram. I also have a freebie that will share some of these practices that I did here today so that you can remember them and practice them, as well as take it out into your daily life. So you're welcome if you put your name and email below on the Facebook page. I'm happy to send you that freebie as well. And then on October 1st through October 3rd, I am doing a Facebook challenge for 3 days. And you are welcome to send me that information. I will have an opt-in for that coming out soon, and you can join me for that. It'll be 3 full hours, if not a little bit more of how to get into alignment and how to apply that to your life and your business. So hopefully you will join me for those.
All right, well, let's hear it for Kerry. Thank you so much for presenting. You already mentioned how to reach out to you. So if you're on the Facebook Live, add your contact information. Kerry will follow up with you and get all those details over to you. For those in the room, fill out the action forms. And I know Kerry has a opt-in list here as well, so you can actually sign it in person. So make sure that you connect with her and follow up. And I'm already, I'm here, not here.
Good job.
I'm
I can feel it.
Self-conscious all over the place. So what we do at this point is we're going to have a couple people come up real quick and share what they learned. For me, I think the best benefit for me is to have everybody that's watching add a comment on the change between what they saw at the beginning and what they see now and how I'm presenting myself. Because my bubble definitely changed between 40 minutes ago and now. So that would be what you guys noticed, so I can work on that and just make myself better. So Lynn, since you were on camera before, let's pick on you. Come on up here if you want. What did you learn? What are you going to take forward? How was Kerry amazing? That kind of stuff.
I learned a lot, actually. Thank you, Kerry, it was my first time hearing you, and I'm so glad I'm here. So I think just being conscious of my bubble, I did completely agree with the bubble changing in certain situations. So I'm going to pay more attention on particular situations to see what I do. And then you just teaching me how to bring it down and create that foundation is going to be super helpful, because I need it, so.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We all do.
Yeah,
We all
thank
do.
you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
All right, thank you. And then this event is put on by volunteers like me. So there are a couple different people. First of all, our founder, Drew Shockley, with Call to Action Alliance. If your website is not working, is not generating traffic for you, he will build it to do a call to action to bring people to you. So definitely reach out to Drew Shockley. He is linked all over this video and stuff, so you can reach out to him. Connie, do you want to come up and tell us all about Switchboard?
Perfect.
And just really quick, if people are welcome to just message me privately too, if you don't want your contact information all over the Facebook feed, feel free to just message me directly. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Kerry. So I am definitely a projector of energy, so I'm going to be very mindful of my bubble as I talk about Switchboard Networking Boutique. So we've been very blessed. We are celebrating our 2nd year as of this month here at the Westminster location. And so here's a couple pieces to be mindful. One, if you're not following our page, Switchboard Networking Boutique, do that. You can see upcoming events, networking opportunities, professional development opportunities. Time to pop in and check us out. Second call to action would be our Business in a Box partners. We are very, very blessed that we support over 50 local business owners, and so we're heading into that holiday season. If you're wanting to do some birthday shopping, some holiday shopping, come in and check us out to support some local business owners. And then last but not least, we do our monthly, weekly work groups. And so if you're wanting some consistency, some accountability, and some quiet space without the kiddos, the doggies, the laundry, the XYZ in your home office, we would love to serve you in that way. So if any 3 of those sound interesting, go ahead and put a comment in the comment section. And again, we are super, super blessed to have Boost Biz Ed here. Carrie, thank you, so that I'm able to contain my energy
Nice.
during today. And so, Paul, go ahead and take it from here.
All right. And then obviously, when I'm not the pretty face here running this meeting, I actually work with a company called Team National. So we help people take control of their money and find more of it. So generally, I work with 2 types of people, whether they're business owners or individuals. They're very successful, they're running a good business, they're a top performer in their company, but they're looking to make it better. They're looking to provide more profits to their family, to their company, to their employees, to give back in the community. Or if they're a top income earner and employed somewhere, they're looking to take it to the next level so they can take a bigger vacation, give back to charity, take more time off, whatever it is. I also work with people that are kind of struggling. They see that, they're envious of those people, but they're not there yet. They're worried about not being able to pay their bills at the end of the month. They're worried about skipping kids' soccer games because they're working or driving a truck or whatever it is. A lot of people are taking 2nd or 3rd jobs, so they're driving for Uber or Lyft or something in their part-time. So if those people are frustrated with that kind of thing, I can help them out, not only take control of some of their expenses, but I can help them bring in some extra income on the side as well. So if you or somebody you know relates to either of those, definitely reach out to me. My contact information should be all over the Facebook Live as well. So with that, we're going to say goodbye to the Facebook Live people. So I'm going to turn that off here in a second, and we're going to do some more networking in the room. So if you didn't make it here in person, make sure that you do next time. We have all the locations, so you're hopefully near one of them. If you can make 2 or 3 of them or fly across the country to see all of them, that would be wonderful to see you in person, and you benefit from all the networking that we're going to do, both that we did beforehand and that we do now. So with that, goodbye to the Facebook Live people, and we will see you next presentation.